people were here. I'll just wait for the first one.
Okay, I think we are actually live right now, as it says on my screen. And
yeah, it says live on mine now.
Yeah, we're live.
So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me on this Google Hangout. It's really cool that we can connect on such cool equipment online now, and I think the whole reason why this whole Google Hangout came about was just because we chose to network and connect with each other, through different Facebook groups and stuff online, and that's just extremely powerful if you can actually take the time out of your day to connect and network with other people online, because what will happen is you'll end up finding other like-minded people, just like we did here, that will help you progress in your business and help you to take your business to the next level. So, half of it's knowledge on starting a business online, and then the other half is networking and making relationships with other people online. So I think that's just extremely important. So what I wanted to do real fast is just go through and ask you guys, a few questions, and you can tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing online. So I guess we'll start with Samantha first. Go ahead and why don't you just tell us, what has been helping you online, and also what type of business you're currently in.
So in terms of my online adventures, my main business is the womeninbusinesspodcast.com, and that's a podcast that interviews inspiring and interesting women to help inspire, educate and entertain other women into leadership positions. Yeah, lots of really, really great ladies in there. In terms of, it's a very new business in terms of what I'm doing to attract subscribers and so on. A lot of what I've been doing is just, trying out things that people are talking about in the forums. Yeah, I've been posting some things in social media, trying to get more consistent there, trying to get my practices in place, looking at where I need to be in terms of Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and how those particular channels work for me, because they're probably the better ones for me. And also, interestingly, I pick up a lot of subscribers through things like word of mouth and conferences and stuff like that. So I guess I'm interested in having a chat about some of the theories around social media and what actually works, because there is so much information, and what I want to know is what have we used that works.
So why don't you rewind a little bit? I think you kind of you answered your own question a little bit ago. You mentioned the Facebook groups, and why don't you just talk a little bit more about those specifically, because I don't think your average person online really understands how powerful they can be just with connecting and networking with other like-minded individuals.
Yeah, so I guess through a couple of the courses that I did online, I discovered that each of those courses had Facebook groups for people that were participating in the courses. And, one of those groups, I'm in Australia, and part of our challenge is that there are so many forums and groups and so on for the US, but there's not a lot for Australian bloggers and podcasts and stuff compared to the US. And I found one, for example, that has 1,000 women in it that are Australian and that are all interested in online business, and that are all at different stages of building their online business. And that came through a course that I did. And then once I discovered that group, I was thinking, oh, geez, how many other great groups are there out there? And I think groups are becoming more and more a way for people to connect, but also to potentially attract similarly minded people. So now, for example, some of my clients in my other world, in my IT world, in terms of my career, I'm sort of setting up groups for them so that they can connect and so on. But in the same vein, it also helps me market to them, because it's a captive audience. They're specifically interested in your topic. So, for example, one of the groups is a legal group, and they're lawyers, and they are interested in building their businesses as lawyers. And so when it comes to social media, as it turns out, because I and just maybe know a little bit more about it than they do. They're asking me for advice on social media and all this sort of stuff, and it's like, wow, there's a business that's building out of that just by being able to help people in the groups on Facebook.
That's really amazing. That you can just join Facebook groups and come up with a whole nother business strategy just from doing that. I think that's something to take note of, especially if you're on Facebook a lot. I think a lot of people waste a lot of time just browsing around Facebook, reading posts, not really doing what they should be doing, which is thinking of Facebook as a business platform that you can really use to accelerate your business. So let's just jump right over to Gabriel real fast, and why don't you just fill us in on what you've been up to online and some of the current business plans that you have going on.
Yeah, I'm Gabriel. I'm from Mexico City. I work a lot with Facebook to convert Facebook for a database. For me, Facebook is not like social friends or be like that. I see more Facebook as a business plan.
Right.
And with everything with that, I try to move from Facebook to my webpage. That is my main goal. How to convert and reduce the cost of investment on doing a Facebook ad, and so you can go and track everything and do everything with your Facebook, depending on which part of your funnel is the client. That is what I'm doing right now. And I'm doing for 3 businesses, so that is the main thing. And right now I'm trying to connect that with the real world. So if somebody go to a restaurant, now you can do something with that, with the Facebook and with the Google, so you will know that how to convert better and how to upsell something like that. So I'm trying to put the off world to the regular world to the Facebook. That is what I'm doing right now.
Wow, that's really amazing that you're actually just looking at Facebook as if it's strictly a business platform, and that's really how I look at it too. I don't waste a lot of time going around, chatting with people that most likely won't really be beneficial to the growth of my business. But that may sound a little selfish, but it's kind of true. You have to find other people that are like-minded that you can truly connect with and help grow your business. So I know, Gabriel, I asked you to do a screen share and kind of walk us through a little case study of what's going on with you with your Facebook ads. And also, I think that's really cool that you're using other people's money to learn how to send traffic to your website from using Facebook ads. But before we get into that, let's just jump to Elaine real fast. And I just wanted to ask you, why don't you just fill us in on your business, your current business and podcast. And I know you've been in some mastermind groups, some really high-ticket mastermind groups. So why don't you just share that with us and tell us how the mastermind groups have benefited you?
Yeah, okay. So I have an online business promoting holiday homes in the Cotswolds, and as a result of that, I found podcasting. So my main business at the moment is podcasting, a new podcast called Holiday Let Success. So because of the podcasting, I went out searching for like-minded people that can support me where I can learn, and I came across Podcasters Paradise, which is from the John Lee Dumas Entrepreneur on Fire podcast, which I love. So I just got as much information as I could about it and decided I was going to join. So I joined, and it was definitely the best thing that I could have done. It's taught me everything about podcasting and how I can get up and running, and as a result of that, as well as all the videos that are in there, there's this whole group of people who are all either in the same position as me, just starting out as a podcaster, or who are experienced and who are all willing to help people like me who've just started. And now that I'm getting better and better, I can sort of start to give back a bit to the people that have joined after me. Yeah. So I love the mastermind thing.
That's really amazing. I think it's also really important to note that I'm assuming you set this all up through using WordPress software, right, for your
Yeah.
blog and your podcast. And did you do
Exactly.
that all yourself, just through the video training that you received there?
I set up my whole podcast and my WordPress site completely following the videos through the Mastermind group, through Facebook and through Podcasters Paradise. And since I joined Podcasters Paradise, it never, before I found that, it didn't occur to me to look on Facebook for groups. And then all
Right.
of a sudden, now I've found all of these different groups where there's lots and lots of like-minded people.
Yeah.
And now, what you were saying earlier about, wasting time on Facebook, I never, ever, ever look at my feed anymore. I just spend all my time in all the groups that I've joined, and it's so supportive, and it's, it has ensured that I've created the business that I've created, rather than, I definitely wouldn't have done all of this if I hadn't have joined.
Absolutely. So I think,
pleased.
yeah, I think it's amazing that we have software like WordPress and Google Hangouts to really reach our audience now. And if you're not using Facebook, you should definitely consider setting up a site. And if you need help with that, you can check out my site, whitehatmastermind.com, and I would definitely be happy to help you with some of those things. But isn't it amazing just how easy it is to set up a Google Hangout and just network with people?
And I'm really glad that you've done this as well. And I have to give credit to you, Seth, as well, because I met you because I was searching out how to learn even more about WordPress, and I found you. I found your podcast, and we started chatting, and here we are.
Absolutely, and that's what networking really does for you. It just brings people together, and through these relationships, we can just help leverage each other's business and really take our businesses to the next level.
Yeah, definitely.
Just by having friends.
Yeah, and even
I think,
sorry, go on, Samantha. You go ahead.
The other really cool thing about it is that you have people to try things out with. We're having a go here. We're trying out new things and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. And it's when you're by yourself and trying to work out how to use Google Hangouts or trying to work out how to use technologies that connect and collaborate, it's really hard. But when you have like-minded people that are trying to achieve the same things, it's so much more fun, and it's less, in some ways, less stressful.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
Even just a shared problem, when you come up against one, there's usually somebody you can ask that's been through it, or like we are now learning together.
Yeah. I just wanted, if you don't mind real fast, I just wanted to bring up one point that I think all of us really have struggled with, getting our WordPress websites up, getting our podcasts up, basically just learning how to market in general, and it's the idea of information overload. I think, when you get involved with podcasting and setting up a site and you're trying to get a business going online, we oftentimes, just overwhelm ourselves with all the different information out there. And I think it's important for us to focus on one task at a time, focus on what you're good at and what you're passionate about, opposed to what you think you should be learning, because oftentimes you can either outsource that kind of stuff, or in this case, we can ask each other for help, because, that's what friends do, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
And there is a lot of information. There's a lot of courses out there, and you will never know which is the correct one. And in sometimes like SEO, I don't know which one is work, which one it doesn't work. So it's better to ask to a friend that is doing right now and what is working for him.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. If you're out there looking for a course to take to kind of advance your business, a lot of it just comes with just time and being in the game to really understand what you think is going to work for you. And you can also use testimonials as an example. If a product has several different testimonials and you can tell they weren't fake testimonials, that's one way to tell if a product is working for people or not. But when I got into marketing, I really never bought any products online. I never got into any mastermind groups or anything like that. And I think in some ways, I lived a little conservatively with my business online, but I probably should have joined a couple mastermind groups, a few years ago, because if I would have, I would have built so many more relationships with different people and just really advanced my business so much further than, so.
Yeah.
So, Steph, sorry, can I ask quickly, Elaine, do we have anyone that's joined us on the Hangout?
Yeah, I think we have a few people in here, so.
Great. Okay, cool. Sorry, Elaine, over to you. I was just curious.
That's quite all right. I was just going to continue on the mastermind conversation. As Seth just mentioned, he said that he hadn't, and sort of wishes that he had joined a mastermind a bit sooner. Whereas when I first started looking for a mastermind, I just couldn't find anything near where I lived. And I was looking for a face-to-face mastermind, and even then it didn't occur to me that might be a mastermind online. So even though that's the most obvious place, I still just didn't go there until I heard about it on Entrepreneur on Fire, and that's where I started.
Yeah, well,
searching online, and it just all clicks into place all of a sudden. And now I've just got lots of masterminds and lots of support, so it's great.
Well, I think for me, what I'm starting to realize is that Google Hangouts is probably the best way to communicate with your mastermind group. How many people can you have on a Google Hangout? Like 8 people or something like that?
Quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You really don't want your mastermind group more than around 10 people anyways, because if you do, then there's just too many ideas getting thrown around. It just becomes, information overload. You need to find, a tight niche mastermind group where you can come up with clear ideas, clear advantages, and strategies to take your business to the next level,
Yeah, I would absolutely say that that's a really good way forward if you want to advance your business.
Yeah, I agree. So, Gabriel, would you be willing to do a screen share and maybe walk us through how you're doing some of your Facebook paid advertising right now, and how you're getting your clicks down to 6 cents a click to your website? That's amazing. I couldn't believe it when you showed that to me the other day, that you can get clicks for 6 cents. Because when I was running Facebook ads, even likes to my fan page, I don't think they were below 40 cents. I got it down pretty close, and there's definitely different strategies you can use with your banner ads, and putting like a red border on it to get people to click and interact with your banner. But to get it down to 6 cents, I know you're doing some ninja tricks there, and we'd really like for you to share it with us. So go for it.
Sure. Now you can see my screen?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm building this audience with my clients and myself also. So with this audience, I track who comes to my site here in Create Audience, Custom Audience, and Facebook gives you the opportunity to see who is your client and where is loading. From here, you can put a MailChimp account. So if you have a MailChimp in your thing, everything that you put over here is gonna be showing, and there's gonna be creating an audience over there. Also, you have some custom or data field or custom website. So you click over here, you create an audience, and you say like this demo, this Hangout. Is it Hangout? So I will put in the whole website visitors, or I can track which part of the page. So I can say in the checkout or in the first opt-in page, or when they buy something. So for now it's gonna be all website, and I create it. After I created this over here, where is Hangout? Over here, and I take this pixel. And this is going to be putting this pixel on my site, and this will track everything who landed on my web page.
Now,
so what is happening right now, over here you have, let me go and find one. This is one from a group in Mexico called Founders MX. So I put this on their site, and they have a lot of traffic. So it will take me 680,000 people on the list. So if I want to create an ad over there, I only create an ad over here, create an ad, And now we're gonna be I don't know if you can see, and now we're gonna be showing this ad to these kind of people, and I will not waste my money on trying to find who is looking for something or who is trying to know. I know there is that people that are visiting my page, so and I can send you something. And also what I do is also I do a look-like. Here's the founder, sorry, and this is the look-like. Who is similar interest with these guys? So with this to track it, I try to go and do my campaigns for 5 cents, 7 cents per click.
So let me get this straight. So it's kind of hard for, I think, anybody to really understand what you're doing there because it's such an advanced feature on Facebook. It's really not something most people even consider doing. So basically what you're doing is a form of retargeting, or if you would call it remarketing, where you're taking a tracking pixel and you're placing them on your squeeze page, your landing page, and then your conversion page, which would be like after they go through the merchant account or whatever, correct?
That's correct. I will track all the funnel, all the part of the funnel of the sales funnels to see in which part they are, and depending on which part they are, I will show different ad.
So in other words,
so if I want,
what you're basically doing is you're only advertising. Let's say you're sending visitors to your squeeze page. Well, if those visitors go through your squeeze page, they enter their details, and they convert, then they will no longer see a banner ad to that squeeze page again. They may see the landing page specifically. So you're saving money by not showing people the same ad over and over. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I will try to convert them to a client. If they landed on my page and they take my opt-in, they take your opt-in. Now I wanna go to give them an ad to buy me a product, to buy me one product. And if they buy my product,
Gabriel, can I ask you a question about that? You had that one before that had 500 and something thousand. Was that a particular page of yours that came from someone else's website, or I've missed a link there between? Is that where you've put a pixel on one of the pages on your site, and there are 500 and something?
This page I put it. This page is Founder MX. This is a group of founders of Mexico. So I have in this site 100 clients.
And that's your site, right?
Yeah, that's my site. Yeah, that has to be your site.
Yeah.
And if you go and put create look-like audience, so I will create an audience similar to similar. Sorry, okay. Let me go and say this one. So now I'm targeting I'm looking for people that is similar interest with B2Green, that is a sustainable blog, and that is located on Mexico. So now I can target everything.
That's amazing. Wow.
And
so that blind. So you can target. You can then say, put my Facebook ads on those pages that are so similar to the pages that are similar to your audiences.
Yeah, because you are creating an audience that is similar to your interest. So now you are not wasting the money to try to find who is interested on your page. You know they're interested in the page because they visit your page.
Yeah. Wow.
So
okay. That's
that
amazing.
is what I'm doing.
I love
That's
it.
amazing. That blows my mind.
I'm gonna have to have you run some ads for me.
Yeah, that's really
Sometimes
good.
you can see over here. Sometimes you see over here that is they say the audience is too small. That is because I didn't reach the 20 people that this Facebook is asking me to have it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I get it now. Sorry. So. Wow.
No problem. And from there you can do like different tricks. Like for what I'm gonna do in restaurants is if somebody visit a landing page from a hotspot. So now I will know that somebody visit that restaurant, so I can put two margaritas for $1, or cerveza, a Corona for $25, something like that.
I love it. That's so cool.
So I will try to bring back a customer in retargeting, because they're going to be seeing a Facebook ad on their cell phone or on the computer where they are connecting, because that is what they're doing. They want to go on the internet to connect, and 95% of the time they're going to go to Facebook.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
I don't even know what to say. It's such an advanced thing you're doing there. I've been marketing a long time, with email marketing, squeeze pages, and sales funnels and stuff, and the stuff you're doing is just like on the next level as far as tracking goes, and knowing, what your customers are doing when they come to your sales funnel. And I mean, you can do it with like Google Hangouts, or if you use lead pages and stuff, but to know how to do that on Facebook is such a powerful thing. I suggest you start a training course on that, and really teaching people on that.
Yeah, I think you could do a really good video on that.
Heck yeah.
I will try to do my best on English. Sorry for that.
That was excellent.
You're doing well.
Yeah, I agree.
You will also need the lead page or the landing page system that you are using, whatever it is, lead page, Unbounce, or Optimize Press, or whatever you're doing. You will still need that thing to go on. And do
you need a web page in order to place the HTML code into it. It's basically like a tracking snippet or whatever.
There is two tracking. One is a pixel that you are looking over here that is tracking which one is putting, and the other one is you can do a tracking conversion. This tracking conversion tracking.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I know. Google Analytics does something like that.
But with this pixel, you know which ad is converting better. So now you can know, okay, this ad is converting better, I will put more money on this ad, or this is not converting me clients, so I will take out this line or this funnel. So I will know what's working on what's not working with my Facebook ad, so that I can also get rid of ads that is not working.
Well, I mean, the way to profit in a business is to know your numbers, right? So as long as you know your numbers, then it's not really a gamble when you're running Facebook ads at that point, because you know your numbers, and you know what you're willing to invest in it to see a return on investment.
Yeah, you should know.
Are you pretty much done with that now, or do you want to keep talking about some different stuff on Facebook, Gabriel?
That's okay. That's okay.
If you don't mind, I might just ask Seth, of all of that stuff that you're doing, Gabriel, is there any in particular that stand out for you in terms of what is most successful around that audience building and the ads? Like, is there anything that you're seeing in terms of trends of ads that work best and audiences that work best and that sort of thing?
It will depend on the industry, because I have run from a travel industry in Baja California Sur, in La Paz, in Mexico, and I was trying to run also for my company that I'm doing a blog of sustainability, and they are pretty different. The people, there are two sites or two target audience, and they convert different from every part. So I cannot assume that this is working and this is not working for an ad.
Absolutely. I think the thing to take away from that is, even if you don't have something that's converting necessarily that great, you can always make changes to the sales funnel to, and just tweak it a little bit. And oftentimes what I found is it'll convert 10-15% better just by making a change in a headline even, or changing the background color of your squeeze page. So.
And so, Gabrielle, are you just how are you creating your ads?
I'm using Canva. Using Canva to do the ad, to do the graphics, and test it. Testing what is working, and like I upload 2 or 3 ads and see which is looking okay and doing okay, and the one is doing okay, I will take.
Cool. Well, if you guys don't mind, I kind of wanted to share my screen with you and just go over a few things that I've been working on as far as marketing strategies. Is that cool?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
cool.
cool. Thanks, Gabriel.
All right, let's see here. Screen share. All right. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to talk about YouTube first. So anyways, if you guys aren't doing video marketing, I suggest you get into it and start doing it simply because it's the best way to get someone to respond to your products and services. It's just way more interactive, even than audios. Now with audios, they're great because you can reach a wider range of people using like Stitcher and SoundCloud. And you can't really put videos on Stitcher and SoundCloud. But then again, you can't really put audios on YouTube. So, it's give and take there. But what I found with YouTube is that just by posting one video consistently every week, it doesn't even have to be a long video. Even if it's like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes long, that if you do it right and you do the marketing strategies right, you can really get a lot of visitors. Now, I've only uploaded around 20 videos to my YouTube channel, and they're mainly from my podcast. And as you can see in the top here, I have 587 subscribers. That's not a ton right now, and I plan on over the next few years continuing to be consistent in uploading my videos each week. But I also have 71,000 views, and there's a few things that I've learned with YouTube. How YouTube ranks your videos, and when they choose to recommend your videos. Let's say you're watching a YouTube video somewhere, and you get to the end of the video. Well, you know how those like 8 videos will pop up in the screen behind the video. Yeah. Well, if you use the correct thumbnails and they actually say something opposed to just being an image, then people are going to be way more likely to click your thumbnail. If you put like a title in it, you could use like PicMonkey. It's really easy. You just insert a title. Let's say I'm talking about customizing your registration page on WordPress. Well, if I just put customize your WordPress registration page in really big letters in the thumbnail, people are going to be way more prone to click it. And also, I've realized that when people do click your thumbnail, YouTube actually rewards you and helps to put your video higher in the search engines. Another thing to note is when you upload a video and you write the title for it, you want to make sure the title is super specific and targeted to your video. You want to make sure that it's relevant with your video. And the reason why you need to do this, and also the thumbnail needs to be relevant too. And also the reason why you need to do this is because people will watch your video, okay? And depending on how far along they watch your video, let's say they only watch it for 3 minutes. Well, YouTube will track that, and they know how long people are watching your videos for. So the longer your videos are being viewed for, the more chances you will have to be recommended by YouTube in the recommendation sections and also in the search engines. I haven't really been, as you can see my videos, this is what a thumbnail looks like, guys.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you, Seth, is what do you mean and how do you do that with thumbnail?
Okay, so let me see if I subscribed. I stalk a lot of my competition on YouTube, right? So I've been watching what they've been doing. But as you can see, my videos, they don't have big titles on them. Really, when you look just specifically at the thumbnail, they don't say much at all, do they? So what I'm going to start doing is going back through all these videos and putting a nice custom thumbnail image in there that displays, the title really big.
Sorry, Seth.
Okay.
I've lost your screen.
Oh, you did?
I've still got it, so you might just need to, Elaine, click on Seth in the little boxes down the right-hand side. Have you got that?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Sorry, go on.
Did someone just get a phone call? You guys hear that, or is it just me?
I didn't hear
No,
it.
I think it's just you.
Hold on. Maybe someone's trying to phone in or try to get in on the show. I don't know. I don't know what the heck that was. Anyways, let me see here. I'm going to go to my subscribers. And like I said, if you look at my thumbnails, they don't really say much. And I plan on implementing that marketing strategy very soon because I just learned it, just doing a lot of research. Okay. So let me scroll down.
So in essence, what you would do is replace that picture, that thumbnail picture, with a banner of some sort, right? That describes it better. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. Let me see if I can find an example of that.
While you're doing that, I think you were saying to me the other day, and you might have mentioned it earlier, and I might have just been looking at it there, is that if people can see what your video is about in that thumbnail, and therefore they click on it because they're interested in it, and they therefore stick with that video and watch that video because it is something they're interested in, as opposed to how many times you might click on something that you think you're interested in, then the video starts playing and you go, oh, actually this isn't what I thought it was, so you click off.
Exactly. And then
YouTube rewards you for that.
Yep. Exactly.
Rather than so even if you're getting less clicks because of that, the more targeted those clicks are and people are actually watching the video when they do click, that's going to rank higher.
Absolutely. All right. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yeah.
So this guy does similar stuff to what I do. And he teaches people about WordPress, and I don't even know if he gets into marketing. But as you can see, he has 92,000 subscribers, and that's quite a bit for WordPress. And if you look at his thumbnails, you can clearly see that he puts custom thumbnails in there. And I mean, it's so much more powerful when you have a thumbnail that says something. Because oftentimes the thumbnail is the only thing that is displayed. Like for instance, at the end of a video. Let me go to a video on YouTube real fast and skip to the end, and I want to show you what I mean. It's such a simple concept, but I think a lot of people just don't know how to do it. My screen's loading a little slow right now, so you'll just have to...
And as Gabrielle said while you're loading that, to get onto Canva and do it so quickly, to do a little thumbnail image so quickly, it's quick, it's easy, and it can have such a huge impact.
Yeah, I have just recently started using Canva, and it's amazing what you can do with it. How good you can make things look. It can go on your Twitter, it can go on a blog post, and you can put all of your information in there. And if you're advertising your podcast show, quotes or highlights, you can put that into a text on a really nice picture, which advertises your podcast.
So
you can then Pinterest that or anything.
Is it like a simple Photoshop or something like that?
Yeah, Canva.com. It's so easy to use. Yeah, sorry, Gabriel, go on.
So
it's really easy.
So real quick,
drop and drag.
Yeah, exactly. So just real quick, I just wanted to show you this real fast before we stop talking about YouTube. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you just look at the end of the video, you'll see how 6 thumbnails will pop up. So none of these thumbnails say anything, do they? Nothing.
Not really.
So if they said something, people will click it if they're interested in it. And it may not seem like a big deal, but when you're getting thousands and thousands of views every day, I mean, it's going to help to convert your channel like crazy. So I hope that helped you guys understand YouTube a little bit better. And I know not everybody's really into making videos, but it's the wave of the future, man. If you're not making videos, you got to at least be doing audios, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess the thing for me is that I'm doing video podcasts, and those podcasts will go from anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. But what I could be doing is just cutting out the best bits and posting them on YouTube and using... I don't have to create more work, new videos. I could be using the highlights of my existing videos, which could then draw people to my existing website to watch the whole video.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So you do have videos on your podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
We do
yeah.
Skype video recording.
I would just put the whole video on YouTube because they host it for you. You don't have to pay for any bandwidth being used up. So there's no point of not putting all your videos there.
Mm.
It's just opening up another avenue to get your content published to the world. So it's definitely something good to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just add something whilst we're talking about video? Is that something I got taught the other day? Have you heard of the 6-Minute Strategist, a guy called John Colley?
I have.
He's great. I saw him at the UK Pod 14 last weekend. He did a keynote speech, and one thing he said was, if you go onto a Google Plus yourself on your own, doing a 2-minute intro of your podcast. Okay, talk about the highlights, the name of the podcast, for example, or your site, whatever it is you want to advertise, and record about 2 minutes, come off the Google Hangout, post that on YouTube, and that will get a lot of Google juice by Google. They like them. They will shoot that up there. So that's another good way of using video and using Google Plus to highlight your site or wherever you want to drive traffic.
Hey guys, I think Luke wanted to join the call. Let me see if he's still interested in joining. Let me.
So actually, maybe what I should be doing is, instead of using Skype to do my video podcast interviews, I should be using Google Plus, which is going to get me higher ranked on Google.
That's my understanding when I heard this keynote the other day. Yeah.
Well, one thing I've learned with let's say Google Plus, and a lot of people undervalue the power of Google Plus. For one, I'm glad you guys brought this up. For one, they don't have the crappy Facebook feed. They don't have only top stories showing. The way they have it set up is not for them to make money or for advertisers to make money. It's very much geared towards community, and they want people to connect on there. Opposed to, ever since Facebook went public, everything has changed drastically. For instance, now you can even, as you own like a personal profile, now they allow you to promote your own posts, And I mean, imagine the people that don't have a business out there, that don't invest their money in ads and stuff. Why would they want to promote their own posts to their friends? So basically what they're doing is, I guess they say only like 10 or 12% of your friends will actually even get your post when you post it to Facebook. So it's not, because you're unpopular. Like, I have 700 friends, but only like 12% are probably seeing it. And I'm working on the strategy to increase that number, and there's definitely different ways to do it, but it's really sad that that's the direction Facebook is kind of headed. It's geared towards advertisers making money, and then Facebook making money through advertisers.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I think that the use of groups there can actually try and just sort of take you away from actually even having to worry about directing posts into Facebook and hoping that they will get seen. Because if you've got people invited into your group, they've accepted, they've said yes.
Right.
Like Samantha said at the beginning, then they're engaged, they want to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe advertise to them in there, or not even advertise, but engage with them even further.
I agree with you, and I think Facebook groups, that's a great way to implement free strategies with Facebook. And then also another one is, just for instance, for the Google Hangout, I was able to invite 700 people to this Hangout through Facebook events. So when you create an event, you do have to manually enter or invite every single person, which is completely annoying. I mean, I can't believe they wouldn't add a select all button, right, after all the features Facebook offers. Sure. But they literally they make you do that. They make you go through and select every single person. And the reason why they do that is because they want you to pay to promote your stuff. And it's just gearing that direction. But if you take the time, out of your day to do it, you can actually, implement some really good strategies there. It just takes a little bit of time and work to do it,
Yeah, kudos for that, though. You did it.
So, real quickly, as far as like posting, YouTube videos. Now, every time I post one of my YouTube videos, if I click on my profile here, close that tab out. Oh, can you guys see my screen? Probably not, huh?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, let me share real fast. Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah.
So every time I publicly post a YouTube video, it's automatically added to my Google Plus account, as you can see down here, and as well as the Google Hangout events. So Google Plus is very much integrated with YouTube and Google Hangouts. Another thing to note, and you don't see a bunch of ads all over this. There's no ads anywhere. It's just my posts, and then you click on home, and it'll show the feed for everybody else's posts, if you're in their circle or whatever. But there's just no ads. It's really interactive and community-based. But another thing to note would be setting up your own private community forum here as well. And I was checking that out, and I thought it was really cool because let's click on it, okay? Now it takes us here, and I created the White Hat Mastermind community forum, and whitehatmastermind.com is my website or whatever, so that's what I named it. But if I go in here, you can click on event, and over here you can create an event, if you want to do a hangout or whatever. So you can post the hangout within the community or the private forum. Let's say you have a mastermind group, guys. Well, now you can do Hangouts integrated right into your Google Plus forum. I think that's just something to note and something really powerful that people really haven't seen.
That's really powerful.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being able to just do one video hangout every week with your mastermind group. It's a lot more integrated than Facebook is. It's way more powerful as far as integration with YouTube. And one last thing real fast. If you do have a website, you can click on Pages over here. Now what you can do is create a business account using Pages. And I've done that with my website, and I did it last night actually. So I created this, hold on here, it says I gotta verify. What Google wants me to do is, since I claim it's a business page or whatever, they want me to verify that I own whitehatmastermind.com. So they pop up a verification code or whatever. They want me to paste that onto my site. And then once I do that, I come back here and I click the verify button. I already did that. I don't know why it keeps popping up. But as you can see here, it's just a simple page. It says, you have a tagline, a title, and then you have an introduction to what your company is about. And it's a simple page, and you have your phone number and the link to your website there. But Google will actually, once you create this page and you verify your website, Google will actually display it in relevant keyword searches on the sidebar, on the right sidebar. So it might be for local stuff, or it might just be for a relevant keyword that someone else is typing in. And they will give you the opportunity to advertise your site for free that way. It's just one perk of using Google Plus. It's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, that is cool.
So that's pretty much all I got for showing you guys all my cool little tricks.
No, love it. That was awesome.
That was awesome, and it certainly made me think how much easier it would be just for me to add video, add YouTube as a channel. Create more interest through that way, and if anything, even having this hangout has made me think about how could you have the frequent talks? Sorry, Gab.
Were you talking, Gabe? Can you guys hear me?
We can't hear you properly, Gabriel.
Oh, okay. Oh, look, we have another guy popping in here.
Look. Cool.
Luke came in to join us here.
Hey, Luke.
Hey, Luke. Hey, Luke, I saw something on your on your website or your Facebook page the other day about an amazing guy. I think his name was Tim, and he was a Down syndrome boy who has a restaurant. Was that on your page?
Luke, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Luke?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Did you hear my question about something on your Facebook feed about a Down syndrome boy who has a restaurant who gives free hugs and stuff? It was amazing.
Oh, that was my question. That was a question to me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I did. I can't remember. I saw it on someone's page, and it was awesome. So yeah, I just reposted it.
It was so awesome. I encourage everyone, if you need any inspiration at all, check it out on Luke's Facebook page, because honestly, it just made my day. If you know, this young man, I think he's the only Down syndrome person who has his own restaurant and his own business, and he's such an inspiration. It was very cool.
Oh yes, I did see that as well. That is pretty cool. So we just got done
he gives hugs.
Yeah, that's his
Awesome.
little thing. So we've been talking about Google Plus, Hangouts, YouTube, how people can use those marketing strategies and social media strategies to further their business along, as well as some cool Facebook tricks. Luke, did you see the video up until this point, or did you just now join us?
I just now joined. My question is, did I come in at the wrong time?
No,
is
you're.
this the end?
It's close to the end, but since you just joined, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you've been up to online and fill us in a little bit on your business.
Okay, I wasn't aware of the time change. I'm on Central Time. So anyway, what I've been doing is, about a year ago, I've been really trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was introduced to Gary Vaynerchuk and his book, Crush It. So, and I listened to the book, and he has a layout in the book that he says to use. Obviously, I received this book through listening to Entrepreneur on Fire with John Dumas. After I heard it recommended like 1,000 times, I decided to read it or listen to it. And so he says there's two main points in the book that I really took away from it. Really, everything he says is just great and right on time. But in one chapter, the whole chapter is just about caring. He says he comes in there and he says, when he gives a talk, he says, I'm going to do a talk in this chapter. Here it is. Are you ready? Care. And that's what he says.
That's awesome.
And the first thing he says to do, and I like to go by the book. I kind of follow people and what they say, like to the T. And he says you need to get in there and meet people and care about them, and don't even put your own agenda up there at all, and just care about them, help them as much as you can, and just meet people and become friends, and do that first. And that's kind of what his next book's about: jab, jab, right hook. So give, and then ask. So that's what I've been doing for the past year or so. Just been meeting people online, just friending them on Facebook, just introducing myself to them, meeting them, helping them any way I can. And recently, sometimes when you're in a group helping people, and you have that that servant mindset, it's the idea where there's going to be things that come up where a need, and you're like, well, I can fill this need. And one of the needs was ratings and reviews, and I said I can help with this, because what I was doing was I was rating and reviewing people's podcasts anyway, just as a courtesy, and knowing when I release my podcast, they'll be there for me, because that's what friends do. And so I was rating and reviewing, and then I got this crazy idea: why don't I start a Facebook group where I invite 91 people to review for 90 days, rate, review, and subscribe to their podcast, and I will be the mediator. And so I spoke with a few people about it, and they said that was one of the greatest ideas they have ever thought about. Because I know if you had 90 ratings, reviews, and subscriptions in one day, I'm sure it would help you sustain in iTunes. I'm not sure what it will do, but we're going to find out. And
I love it, man.
I'm sure it's going to bring you up there and help you sustain. And we just started yesterday. I created the group. I put it out there. This is something I'm passionate about, so it really comes easy. And just yesterday, and I just started just inviting my friends. And yesterday we got about 10 or 11. And then today I didn't even invite anybody yet. I shared it with 2 people on Facebook because they were asking about reviews. And then from that, I think we're at like 17 or 18 today. I think there's a few more on my phone that want to join now. I just haven't had a chance to get on there and put them in and all that kind of stuff.
That's amazing. So what's the name of the Facebook group you have there?
It's called The Exchange. Now, on purpose, I did not put the word podcast in there because I did not want to get flooded with like 1 million people wanting to come into the group. Because, so I just put The Exchange. Because I wanted to be able to invite my friends or people that I've met over the past year first, and then if something organically happens where they invite somebody, or if I invite somebody in one of the podcast groups, which has happened today, I invited a few people and like 3 other people joined because they saw the post. I just invited. They were asking about it. I said you might want to check this out. We became friends, and they're in, and then 2 other people, saw the post and also wanted to join in.
Hey, if I can recall, I was your #1 fan there.
That's right. You were #1. There was another, Kevin, I think it's Kevin Davis is the first person I talked to. I think he's a little amiss because he wasn't put in his #1, but he didn't respond right away. So I put him in his #2 and just said, I'm putting you in #2, and, anyway, even though you did not respond. So what I'm doing to I guess you would say make sure people are going to be serious about this is when they read through it and they respond and they say that they want to join, then I come back with them again and say, all right, are you sure this is what you have to do? Do you understand? And they have to confirm that. And so there's been about 2 or 3 people that wanted to join, and after I kind of clarified to make sure they understood, 2 of them opted out, and I said that was great. That now they really understand. I know this is working. We're truly getting people that truly understand, because if they don't read everything in the Facebook group in the description, then I'm giving it to them right there, 1-to-1, and they can either say yes or no, and I can really see the commitment level it's going to be at. So there you go.
Yeah.
That is such a great idea.
Can we rewind a little bit to what you said about just connecting with people and just being selfless and really reaching out and just basically just reaching out to other people to help them along, and eventually it'll kind of help you to get in the game, and other people will kind of bring you along with them as their businesses excel. I think that's just a good tip for beginners that maybe haven't set up a podcast or they don't have a website yet. I think the first step is to start connecting like you're doing right now. I think that's really awesome.
Because that's where I'm at. I haven't started a podcast yet. I could have started a podcast. I've connected with Daniel J. Lewis. We had a consultation. He said he wanted to be on the show. On the show I'm working on. Chris McFall through Facebook just said, hey, I would love for you to interview me. And there was one other. I probably should. I connected with John Lee Dumas's VA just by chance, and he was like, hey, I'm John Lee Dumas's VA. You should interview me. I'm like,
that's amazing.
Well, I would love to. And so he said, let me talk to John, and I'll see what I can do. I said, all right. And I've spoken with John a few times through webinar, with question and answer type stuff. Over the past year, I'm always there, so he probably knows who I was. And he said, just tell him to email me. So I haven't emailed him yet. But really, I'm enjoying the journey of meeting people. I'm like, I know once I get my focus on getting interviews and recording, then meeting people and just really doing the connecting part of it is gonna be lacking. And let's just get back to that for a minute. I want to share. I've been I'm a public speaker for, I would say, for many years through ministry. My degree is in theology. I've been speaking. I created programs for the biggest youth ministry group in the world, and I was the area director for the South Mississippi and Louisiana. That being said, I've listened to a lot of motivational tapes, books, CDs, been to conferences for business. And there's a thread right in the middle of every successful entrepreneur's life. And then once they become mature, they teach this main key, this main point. And I'm thinking, where did they get this main point from? Where did it come from? They think that they just started up on their own, or they're taking credit for it. But no, really, when you think about, for me, it's easy. It's a no-brainer. You know, for me as a Christian, what does Jesus say to do? He says to serve. That was his last thing. Feed my sheep, wash each other's feet, and serve as I serve. And that is the smartest, I'll tell you what, that is eternal leadership at its best. I have a book that I'm going to write called Eternal Leadership and Evil Deception. I've already got the cover for it. I have tons of notes that I've done tons of talks on. That's a book that I'm going to do in the future. But eternal leadership, you know, where can you get the best leadership in the world? From the one that created leadership. And so if you take that mentality, that mindset of just being a servant and serve others first and put their agenda above yours, but make sure you know what you want to do, so when they're ready to help you, you can plug them in.
And you know that plays so close to business. I mean, as far as being selfless, you know, and not really thinking about the money when you're building, setting up products online and services. If you truly want to solve your customers' problems and you truly want to help them, you're not going to be focused on the money. You're going to be focused on serving them and helping them expand their business. You know, so I think that's a very important tip. Just to be selfless and really focus on other people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's in what you've done there is listening and helping and identifying a need and essentially serving that need. And if that is your intent, then you know, essentially it'll grow from there. And to the extent to which you're passionate about it and you get the word out and you use some of the techniques that we've talked about today to help other people know about that service. I think that's the other thing there.
I think that's a thread that's run through this entire Google Hangout, really, through every vein, through Google Hangouts, through adding the information onto the thumbnail. It's all about showing people what you're offering to help them, whether it's in a Facebook group, whether it's using Canva to get your message out, whether it's blogging, whether it's podcasting. It's all about creating content that is there to help the people that you are looking to serve.
Absolutely.
Whatever your need.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I think that's run through this entire thread.
So we're actually past 8 o'clock, and I wasn't sure how long we were planning on running this for. Do you guys want to end it now and maybe do another one next week, or do you have any?
I was going to say, maybe we should hook up again next week. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Now, the only problem for me is I'm at ProBlogger next week, which is Australia's #1 blogging conference, and it's probably our only decent one. You guys are so spoiled over there.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if I can join you at this exact time. I can probably do it earlier. So is that okay if we schedule earlier, or do you want to go ahead and I can just join you the week after?
I'm okay with that. I don't know about Elaine. What is it? What time is it for you right now, Elaine?
Yeah.
I know it's late.
It's 1:05 in the morning.
Oh my
so Elaine,
God.
if we did it a couple of hours
Too
earlier,
early is fine.
if we did it 2 hours earlier, which would be sort of 10 p.m. for you to start, would that be better?
That's fine. Yeah, whatever time it's on, I'll be here. It's cool.
Awesome.
Okay,
and another thing, what I'll do is I'll make sure below this video, whoever's watching, I'll paste all the links to everybody's website, and that way you can go check us out, and hopefully get some more free value from us.
Yeah, if you want to reach out and say hi, ask any questions, we're all
here to help.
Like we've said all the way through, we're all here to
Absolutely.
give.
So thank you, Elaine,
Thank
Gabriel, Luke, and Samantha. I really appreciate you guys joining me today, and let's set one up for next week, and
Thanks, Seth. We'll pick a topic. We'll go into our forum and pick a topic for next week.
That sounds great. Let's do that. And then
Thanks for having me, Seth.
Yeah, then we'll schedule, a Facebook event and update people on what we're going to discuss next week.
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Sounds
All right,
good.
guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. We'll talk later.
Talk to you later.
We'll do.
Bye later.